Hi, I'm Adrienne Williams-Octalien, Director of the Office of Disaster Recovery, and today I'm on site at the Cyril E. Airport to get updates on what's going on with the Parking and Transportation Center currently under construction. I'm here today with Executive Director Carlton Dowe, as well as Dale Gregory, the Director for the Engineering Department, who's going to give me the skinny on what's going on with this project. But before we get to that, let's check in with Larissa Ellis, who will give us updates on what's going on with the recovery across the territory.
From the WTJX studio on St. Croix, I'm Larissa Ellis. Recently, the Office of Management and Budget has been engaging the public through community meetings on St. Croix and St. Thomas to discuss the status of ARPA funding in the territory. We spoke to Director Jennifer O'Neill to get more information.
We're going to have some additional informational fairs coming up in the near future, and throughout the rest of the year we will do some additional ones for the community to learn more about the American Rescue Plan funds that we have received and what it can do for you and how you can benefit from it. One thing I will say that we are still accepting applications for any projects that are tied to COVID. So if you have COVID mitigation, or you are a private nonprofit that has programs to help homeless or any other areas of need, you can still submit an application to arpa@omb.vi.gov requesting funds for your programs or your projects tied, again, specifically tied to COVID. You can submit that and it will be taken into consideration.
So far, OMB has obligated about 50% of the $547 million received from the federal government. The territory has until December 2024 to award the remaining funds and up to December 2026 to expend those funds. Demolition at the Evelyn Williams Elementary School, the site of the new Arthur Richards PK-8 school, is about to begin. After some permitting delays, the asbestos and abatement phase is complete. John Thompson from 11 Construction tells us more.
We have moved on to the next phase, which is our pre-demolition work. That included going to the neighborhood homes, performing foundation inspections, communicating to the neighborhood the intentions of the demolition. We want to check those houses and make sure that our demolition activity does not have any negative effects on the properties. So we worked with the homeowners. We have completed those inspections, which was a top priority for us to get that out of the way. Beyond that, some of the preparation works have included checking electrical systems to make sure they're disconnected, looking at water supplies, plumbing supplies, as well as bringing in vibration monitoring equipment to ensure that our demolition activities don't create too much vibrations to the neighboring houses. Our activities are going to create noise and vibrations as well as dust. We will be doing our best to control those and alleviate as many issues as we can. However, we do ask the community, if you are experiencing any abnormal vibrations or noises or dust, please contact us. That way we can alleviate any of those issues.
Demolition is expected to begin in early August. Area residents are asked to contact 11 Construction at 340-713-1100 with any questions or concerns. The Envision Tomorrow program is pressing forward. Contractor Ronald Charles of Petro Industrial Services recently visited the lumber storage site at the Alexander Henderson School on St. Croix to collect supplies to begin repairs to multiple homes on the Big Island. Virgin Islands Housing Finance Authority's reporting manager, Gregory Miller, gave us an update on the program's progress.
To date, the Envision Tomorrow program has 13 homes completed and 38 homes under construction, 29 on St. Croix, 9 on St. Thomas.
Back in March, the program launched an initiative which placed 172 homes under contract. The purpose of this initiative was to place a large number of eligible homes under one contract as an alternative to doing multiple solicitations. Not only did this save the program much needed time, but it accounts for 14 of the 38 homes that's currently under construction and is the main reason for the recent increase in our construction numbers. We're also working on 2 other initiatives that will improve overall program performance. the construction management augmentation, which will aid in the development of architectural drawings. These drawings are needed to receive construction permits from DPNR. Once permits are received, joint inspections are conducted with the contractor, and barring any setbacks, the homes will be mobilized. This is the key issue that's keeping back a large number of homes from moving into construction. By the end of September, the program is anticipated to have an additional 50 homes in construction and another 20 homes completed.
If you have any questions about Envision Tomorrow or your application, please call 888-239-3387. In great news for public housing residents on St. Croix, the Virgin Islands Housing Authority hosted a groundbreaking ceremony on June 24th to recognize the start of a $116 million project to revitalize 248 units at the Walter I. M. Hodge Pavilion in Frederiksted. CDBG DR Program Director Ann Hanley gave remarks.
Today, we gather to celebrate another step forward in restoration and recovery of our territory with sustainable development, as the rehabilitation of this community promised to deliver a range of both hurricane and wind-resistant features, along with alternative energy system. As they say, many hands make light work, and we are proud to have been an integral partner, along with the Federal Emergency Management Agency and others, in the financing of this project. The Virgin Islands Housing Finance Authority is allocating $22.65 million in HUD, Community Development Block Grant Disaster Recovery Funds, and $27.56 million in 9% low-income housing tax credit LIHTC funds. While it has been said many times, I want to stress again that this is the first rental assistance demonstration project, RAD project in the Caribbean, which will enable this community to receive critical investments that will enhance its operational efficiency, improve quality of life for the residents, and retain affordability. What a great example of our recovery dollars in action.
This project supports the Housing Authority's long-term plan to renovate and rebuild its affordable housing portfolio. Executive Director Robert Graham shared those plans.
With guidance and support from Governor Bryan, HUD, Housing Finance Authority, the Legislature's Housing Committee, the Housing Authority will continue to aggressively replace and rebuild all 3,000 units of public housing within the next 10 years. Our Board of Commissioners is implementing an aggressive asset repositioning strategy that will deliver, on average, 300 new units of affordable housing each year for the next 10 years.
Governor Albert Bryan Jr. closed the ceremony with his comments.
So now, as we rebuild this Virgin Islands and transform it into something that we have never seen, we must prepare for the pain of success, the need for housing, new power, new schools, broader and more extensive health care. Success is a great thing to have, but it creates so many challenges. So when you see the work that not just me and Tregenza and the administration is doing, that every Virgin Islander is investing day by day to make this place great, recognize that we are a great and resilient people, not from today, but from yesterday, from whence we came, with visionaries like Brother Hodge.
Business owners, contractors, and consultants interested in doing business with the recovery should visit the ODR website for an updated list of open bid announcements and detailed information. This month, the Virgin Islands Housing Finance Authority is soliciting proposals from qualified contractors for the Ross Mixed-Use Development Project, which includes new construction of a 3-story, 18,000 square foot steel frame structure for commercial, office, and residential space on St. Thomas. Additionally, the Economic Development Authority is advertising its procurement to complete hurricane repairs at the Virgin Islands Industrial Park. Lastly, firms are invited to submit bids for the Office of Disaster Recovery solicitation to maintain and complete updates to its website. For more information on these and other open bid announcements, as well as up-to-date news on all disaster recovery projects in the territory, log on to www.usviodr.com.
Thanks, Larissa, for that update. Well, as promised, I'm here with the team from the Virgin Islands Port Authority, led by none other than Mr. Carlton Get It Done Dowe. And he's going to provide some updates for us today. And I would really like to hear just how important this particular project is for the island of St. Thomas.
Thank you. This project is critical in as much as it creates over 561 parking spaces. It would allow us to move the car rental agencies from inside the current area that they by baggage claim and bring them on the outside, which would open up much more areas for us to do vending, do other concessions and so forth. But most of all, it would enhance the product so much so that folks would now be able later on to traverse from the second floor of the facility straight over to the main building. This is only but the first phase of the development. So this is a critical component because it also allows us to move the traffic flow, move people. We are always in, congested down there. So it gives us a real area that we could operate. It'll bring in more revenues, of course, to the Port Authority, which we desperately need in terms of our parking fees and so forth. We'll create some charging station down there, electric car charging station, and I mean, it's a very important project for the territory and for the Port Authority in particular.
This is awesome information. This is a recovery project funded by the U.S. Department of Commerce with a $20 million grant, and you also had to identify a match for this grant as well to get us to this point.
Which is $6.8 million of the Port Authority own money. But if you know of any place we could get that 6.8, we'll also appreciate that.
If you know Mr. Dowe, he's always making moves. But there's always an engine behind what's going on here at the Port Authority. So Gregory, you're actually no stranger to the many projects that we have. Just give us an update on the timelines for this project, where we are. And I understand that we're approaching the point of a major pour.
Yes, we are. This is a major endeavor for us because we're making our first pour of the second floor slab. We're pouring about 20% of the overall pour, and this is the first one, so we're gonna get all the bugs out and while we're doing this pour. This is Carlton Charleswell, an inspector with us, and he's intimately familiar with the project. We're pouring about 380 cubic yards of concrete today, and we're trying to get all our inspectors and everything done prior to the pour starting.
So, we don't just wake up and pour concrete, and you're probably stopping all of the concrete going out across the territory for this project. So what are some of the things that you do in order to get ready for a major pour like this?
Getting a team involved, doing numerous inspections periodically for the coming weeks on this project, getting with the contractor, the consultant, making sure that everything is in place. More eyes, more ears, meetings with Mr. Julio King, the AT teams, familiarizing the project with all staff, everyone on board, and hopefully we could do our final inspection in the next hour and making sure that everything is right on this project.
This is pretty exciting for us, for the Virgin Islands Port Authority. We've seen numerous ribbon cuttings, and we're looking forward to the completion of this project. What's the timeline for project completion?
We're looking to complete this project in summer of 2023. It's on schedule right now, but with projects this size, anything can happen. We could have a storm, inclement weather.
We're not having any of that. But we're on schedule, though.
We're on schedule right now, so we're on schedule for summer of 2023.
All right. So, we are definitely keeping an eye on this project. As Mr. Dowe indicated, it's a very critical project for St. Thomas and for the territory. And if you want to keep up to date with what's going on with the recovery across the territory, tune in every last Thursday on Channel 12 for Recovery in Focus, where we'll take you and provide you updates on the most critical projects and the accomplishments to date. Well, thank you for being with us, and we will continue to build a legacy of resilience.